Well, what this leads us to then is sort of the final part of this, and that is how to make this tab specific styling apply to a WordPress menu. All right, because I told you that the thesis menu creates this class tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and tab 4, but a WordPress menu does not do that. So how can we accomplish this with a WordPress menu? That's what we're going to look at next. Back to this Thesis Site Options. I changed the menu on the wrong site. Okay, WordPress Nav menu. We'll hit save to that. And then we'll come over to Appearance and Menus. And we'll look at our main menu, and we're going to remove that one, and remove that one, and remove this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little different than the original one. We're going to hit save that menu. And we're going to come over here and make our main menu our primary menu. And now it should not look the same. There we go. See, those images are gone. Okay? So the way we fix that is inside of the WordPress menu system. If you come up here to Screen Options, you see you have this choice of selecting a link target and selecting a CSS class. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the CSS class here, and then come down here. And now the CSS class shows up there, and we're just going to type tab 1. Tab -1. And then tab -2. And I'm going to show you what happens when we mess around with it a little bit. We're going to say tab -4 and tab -3. If we hit save, come over here and refresh it, we now have a different arrangement of icons. That is, these two things are rearranged. And because we're on the category columns page and not on one of these pages, they all show up as gray, right? But as soon as we go to the carousel page, it displays the way you expect it to display, right? So now it's behaving the way you want it to behave. And I guess the only other thing to say about that is that we can obviously take this to tab 3. If we save that, now both Carousel and Mommy Blogger are going to be the same, right? Because they accepted the tab 3 class. And if we make this one tab 4, whoops, wrong ones. If we make this one tab 4 and hit save, we end up with the arrangement that we had created originally. So that's how this works. If you want to use this with the Thesis Nav menu, if you want to use this with a WordPress menu. Now, something I didn't notice until just this moment is that it's also cutting off these images. What that means is I need to make this menu item taller. And so if we come back over to Thesis Navigation here, and we just talk about the typical menu item options, and we look at height and width for a moment, hit save, we can set the typical height at 50 pixels, which is the size of that image, and we should have pretty much solved that. Typical item height of 50 pixels, hit save, come back over and refresh this. Isn't that interesting? Oh, that's right, because it's also dealing with padding in there. So what we really want is about 30 pixels. I forgot that the method of calculating the height, if you say you want it to be 50 pixels tall, it's 50 pixels plus its internal padding. So what we do here then is I take our menu item margins, height, and just make it 30, for example. So I think we have got about 20 pixels of padding in there. And we may need to do a little bit of playing with that to get it exactly right. But that does look right, actually. And because this is conflicting with my little graphic, I should probably pull it up. And so I'm going to pull it up by just reducing my margin here to, say, 70 pixels of margin. And then refresh it. There we go. So we have a system that works both for the Thesis Nav menu and the WordPress Nav menu system. And my next plugin project, my next big plugin project, is to port all of these style system to the WP Menus plugin that we have, and which is going to become the multiple menus plugin.